Hello, and welcome to the second session of the Great Upshift book launch. I'm Dr. Robert Atkinson of Light on Light Press, author and editor of 3 Nautilus Book Award winners and an author of a chapter in the Great Upshift, which I'll say a bit about in a moment. If you were with us in the first session, you know that the Great Upshift is a landmark book by Ervin, Laszlo, and David Lorimer, featuring 35 global thought leaders writing on their most poignant insights into why we need an upshift in consciousness at this time and how it is happening. This session will include 6 of those authors: Lynn McTaggart, Alison Goldwyn, Satish Kumar, Dr. Maria Sagi, Dr. Elena Mustakova, and myself. I'll introduce each of them, and we'll have plenty of time for a Q&A with the authors at the end. First, I'll offer a few highlights of my chapter, The Emerging Unitive Age, which picks up from my 2 previous books, The Story of Our Time and A New Story of Wholeness, and adds some thoughts on the great upshift in consciousness we're already experiencing. This is the time to expand our existing circles into larger and all-inclusive circles of unity. This is a time to live into the perennial wisdom of the Hermetic principle, as above, so below, all things accomplishing the miracles of the one thing. This represents a holistic, universal, unitive worldview where all of creation is seen as a whole and all things on the micro level are interconnected with all things on the macro level. Plato offered a similar unitive principle when he noted, "Perhaps there is a pattern set up in the heavens for one who desires to see it, and having seen it, to find one in himself." In fact, there is a universal pattern now found in mythology, mysticism, ritual, and psychology that centrally locates transformation within its core, connects us to the cycles of nature, and results in a heightened awareness of the responsibility to give back and lift up others in whatever ways we can. This is a 3-part pattern that breaks down the process of transformation into 3 phases of departure, initiation, and return, or awakening, purification, and union. This pattern also makes up the basic structure of story itself. Beyond beginning, middle, and end, on a deeper, more meaningful level, this pattern consists of beginning, muddle, and resolution, as it is in the muddles or challenges we face that enable the resolution. In A New Story of Wholeness, this is described as a blueprint for living into wholeness, with the 3 parts: call to wholeness, path of purification, and return to wholeness. We are all capable of living into this wholeness. As Evelyn Underhill said, the germ of the transcendent life is latent in all of us, an integral part of our humanity. More good news is that we are living in the time of the latest leap of consciousness that the evolutionary impulse periodically brings about. And this is now focusing our attention on unity as the way of healing the ills of an ailing humanity. Our current upshift phase is the culmination of a long evolutionary process that will unite humanity as one family. An emerging unitive consciousness is helping us to shift our focus from the parts to the whole. Of the many expressions of humanity's unitive age already taking shape, here are just a few examples of how a unitive approach to all things will transform every aspect of our lives. Unitive justice is justice that brings about unity. Unitive economics is economics that brings about unity by eliminating the extremes of wealth and poverty. Unitive education is education that brings about unity by bridging the supposed disciplinary boundaries. Unitive narratives are narratives that bring about unity. Unitive governance is governance that brings about unity. Achieving unity on a global scale means living by common values and principles that bring us together as one human family. A few of these unitive principles include equality between women and men, balance between wealth and poverty, freedom from all forms of prejudice, harmony between science and spirituality, and protecting nature as a divine trust. These unifying principles are so interdependently tied together that the realization of one depends upon the realization of all the others. Each one is also a prerequisite for fulfilling the age-old vision of peace on earth.